like last year I was trying to say, you know what I'm saying, less.
The actual words,
the phrase, you know what I'm saying?
You
and
said it twice since you've been here.
I know. And then I listen.
I
know. And then I listen to my podcast. I'm like, oh,
wow.
God.
I'm trying to say nigga less.
Me too. No, I'm just playing.
I keep messing up my New Year's resolutions. Like, I promise you, for the last 5 years, I've said I'm going to lose weight.
Yep.
Last year, actually, last night, we did this little, you cut out pieces of magazines and make a vision board and all this stuff.
For your body?
Well, no, you make it for like your goals.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And from one guy doing things to a guy, I think, doing more things, what would you say is, do you write down goals?
You know what? I think my New Year's resolutions, I never keep those.
Really?
You know? Yeah. I've never been good with New Year's resolutions. I think I just kind of I definitely write things down of things I want to accomplish, but whenever I'm like, all right, this is what I'm doing for 2000 whatever, I never stick to it. Like last year I was trying to say, you know what I'm saying, less.
The actual words,
the phrase, you know what I'm saying?
You
and
said it twice since you've been here.
I know. And then I listen.
I
know. And then I listen to my podcast. I'm like, oh,
wow.
God.
I'm trying to say nigga less.
Me too. No, I'm just playing. Nah, but I don't know. And, you know, I always tell myself I'm going to get more consistent in the gym, just like everybody, you know. But, you know, it's really, you really got to want to do it. That's what it is, you know. That's the struggle, because I tell myself I want to get in the gym, I want to get fit, but then, like, it's so stupid.
You're going to be a problem. If you get yoked up,
shit. Don't let me get cute, bro.
Your royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
I mean, I'm already cute, but don't let me get, like, hot.
Well, if I was like, for sure, nigga, I can't go with that. See, I done said nigga. You know what I'm saying? So for a person who... I hate this question, man, but I got, you know, they always like, hey, man, for a new person, what would you recommend? Like, I'm rough with people. If you ask me, I'm like, you got suicidal tendencies? Don't do this shit.
I mean, it's true. You really got to be a secure person to be putting yourself out there. That's why you got a lot of people that, like, you know, I feel like a lot of cats that built their presence online or on social media, they did it because maybe they felt a little awkward doing things in front of people at first, so they turned to their phone or they turned a little camera inside their room, and then when shit started popping off and these comments start coming in, or you actually got to be in front of people, that's why you got so many of them being like, I can't deal with this, I'm depressed.
I'll tell you a story like on a whole nother level. Like, so I'll go. I always say names, but because this was a story that involves a kid, we're gonna go nameless.
Okay.
I have a friend of mine who was doing a lot of social media videos, and he had a kid that was like, I want to do that too, because you do it. Right. Just, you know, I want to be like Pop, you know, I want to be like you. And so he did, and they got very comfortable in, like, say, their living room, you know, at the end of the dining room table, filming all these adorable videos, you know, parent to kid. And then one of them caught, and it goes viral. It goes around the world a couple times. And there was a legitimate effort to protect, you know, the child. To make sure, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And
make sure he doesn't get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, but so there was an opportunity for them to film something with the kid on a real set. Okay. And so for the first time in this human's lifetime, they're going to be filming with more than just their dad. And so they did it, and the kid, like, froze up a little. You know what I'm saying? And I think that even though we're adults, and even though we're, like, you know, we're grown ass hustlers, that's still in you to be like, yo, there's hella people walking around, or you just got makeup done, or you just, you know what I'm saying? Right. And I mean, I've done TV stuff a bunch of times, and there is something that happens when you're like, we about to do this shit. All right, we live. You know
I mean, bruh, even to the point where, you know, I mean, of course, we were both on Wildn Out together. Church. And, you know, there was a time where there was kind of, I feel like it shifted a little bit, and they were really focusing on trying to see how many social media, like IG people they could bring in, right? And some of them would work. Like DC kills it, of course. Monster. You know, I had my doubts about DC when they was like, oh, they bringing DC on for the next season. I was like, Because
you go online, you're like, all you do is roast and scream.
Right, because into your phone, because you know that, like, being on stage in front of people is a different beast, you know?
You meet him and you see him shine. You see that he got a little, that he got it.
He got it.
Like, oh, he all right.
On all levels. Stage presence, confidence.
On the other end of the spectrum, there's somebody that you're like, yo, they're killing it online. They got to work too. And then, wow.
Yeah, literally, we had a couple episodes where they brought in a couple.
Fuck an episode. Just in the...
like the workshops?
Yeah, in workshops. People falling through the filter left and right.
Well, here's what
I'm like, yo, where's old boy? They're like, he out of here. I'm
so
like,
I don't know if you were on these seasons, but there was a season or two where they would push people through workshops because they wanted them to work so much on the show,
right,
because of their following or whatever.
Yeah.
So they really, normally if you couldn't make it past workshops, it was like their trash was sending you home, right? But for the people with a following, sometimes they would bring them on.
We were doing workshop to give those people something to do on the show.
Yeah, exactly. And then and they would put them on the episodes, and once those lights were on, the camera was rolling, like we definitely had some people freeze up, you know.
I'm so glad Tonio got better. Like I usually don't say names, but it's not like he stayed trash.
Right.
But oh my God, like at one point he could only beat a trash can. And so we went and got a trash can out of a hallway and he beat it on live TV. He got better and he contributed to the show and it was dope. You know what I'm saying? And I've been off the show. Like I've wrote for the next 2 seasons. So trust me, even in the writer's room, we're like, it makes sense financially, business-wise, for the social media stars to work out on the show. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. It hurts their careers and the show, because now we put out the money, we've spent the money to get them there, we've put the time, willpower, and effort into giving them something to do on camera to shine, and then when that falls flat, it's like, dude, that was the efforts of like 40 people. Yeah.
It's a struggle. I'm glad he improved too, but that was definitely after a lot of struggle. They went hard on him. I felt there was times it was hard to watch. During those workshops, they get pretty rough. Yeah.
And that's Niles. Shout out to Niall Evans. That's his job to basically pledge everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, there's people who see me and they're like, oh, you the nigga from Wildn Out. Or they say, oh, you the nigga from Def Jam. Or, oh, you the nigga from something. I don't always get Wildn Out. My footprint on the show, like, thanks to reruns, everyone's like, oh, you the nigga from, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, I mean, when we doing season 8 and that's it.
Yeah.
The only reason that I had so much screen time was reruns. I did 5 episodes. They broke it into 2 seasons, essentially. So it was like 8A, 8B. Versus you, who had mad seasons under your belt and probably can't walk in a mall.
I mean, well, here's what's interesting, right? Is because it depends on the malls. You know what I'm saying?
every nigga mall.
Well, here's the thing, right? Before I was on Wildn Out and I was doing my thing on YouTube, because I was on YouTube for a little minute.
Yeah.
And but and my fan base was pretty diverse, but it was primarily Asians, right?
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, it was like a huge amount of Asian. Like, I want to say before Wildn Out, it was maybe like 65-35. 65 Asians, the rest was little bits and pieces of everybody else. But mainly, like, if you were a fan of like hip hop, like that demographic, they were fans of me too. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of sketch, right? But then but since there weren't a lot of Asian creators, especially back then, that was what blew up my fan base.
You and nigga Higa.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to say nigga no more, but it's in his name.
That's Niga, though.
Yeah, Niga, same thing. Yeah, I'm your nigga. I feel you. You my nigga.
Right. So it's like, because of that, there weren't a lot of us. So when there was one of us really doing stuff, everybody, showed love and showed support, right? Yeah. So before, if I was going to an Asian mall, if it was the weekend, I'm like, let me prepare myself. Let me make sure I'm dressed, because I know I'm going to be taking pictures.
Right.
Yeah, let me make sure, let me brace myself for people coming up to me. But after Wildn Out, it was definitely a little more of everyone else. You know what I'm saying? And the demo that really increased was old black people, like middle-aged black people. Now it's like, because they love Wildn Out. I mean,
that's true, because you create it for a younger viewer.
Right. But, it's like, I feel like a lot of, then you got the OG Wildn Out too that was on way back. You know what I'm saying? So I remember the first time someone was like, not the first time, but older black dudes started being like, hey, you funny after Wildn Out. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. Old white people still don't know who I am. Today. So when I really want to go on like a nice romantic dinner with my chick, or take her somewhere, golf course, or like the really high end mall, you know what I'm saying? Broccoli farm. Yeah, the Beats farm.
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I'd take her somewhere like where I know it's gonna be bougie as hell, and like it's nothing but old white people, so they we can have a little quiet night,
That's what's up. and to a certain extent, it's dope that you still have a place to go, because I think for 2020, you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere.
That's the plan, bro.
I think you ain't gonna be able to do shit. You have the biggest Uber Eats account out of everybody, but you ain't gonna be able to go out the house or get a disguise.
I'm not mad.
Like Eddie Murphy walks around in a hooded tunic.
Does he?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, he was. I saw him at the Maxwell concert, surrounded in security with a silk hoodie on, enjoying the show.
Well, here's what's fucked up is I tried to go to like when I'm going to Disneyland or something like that. I try to keep it low key, right? I got like I got the hat on, I got shades on, I got all that. I'm zipped up. Yeah. But the thing about it is, I'm either there with one of my best friends, my boy Rick, who is a
Ricky Shuck. Yeah, don't know Rick.
Yeah, you know,
Rick ain't putting on no costume.
Exactly. And then my wife is super identifiable too, you know, because she has a very unique look.
Yeah.
So it's like even
Egyptian
if
or something, I don't know.
she's Eritrean and Salvadorian. So
wow, which is Egyptian? No, I'm just
pretty much equals Egyptian. So they might see me, like people will see me on the street and they'll be kind of unsure. Yeah, they'll Google. They don't want to ask.
They're like, oh, for sure, that's the team.
Exactly.
Right.
So sometimes they don't even want to ask because they don't want to be racist. You feel me?
Right.
So sometimes if people come up to me like, "Are you that dude?" I'm like, "No, you racist motherfucker. We don't all look alike."
You ever responded in another language? I would. Like if I was from like you're of Asian descent. If I had a descent where like, because I'm clearly an American black man and we don't have no other language we may speak at home. But if I could, and they came up like, "Are you Timothy?" I'd be like, "Oh my!" Like they wouldn't know.
You could hit somebody with some patois or some.
I'm gonna say Rosclad Bombaclad. Like, nigga, that's you, bro.
Yeah, done no.
You can get away with that. There's Asians in Jamaica.
I mean, there's a lot of Asians in Jamaica.
But they watch Wildn Out.
They do. You know who watches a lot of Wildn Out? I didn't know. Australians.
Get out of here.
Yeah, because I was in Australia doing some show with some people, and so they love the word cunt in Australia.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing to
it's a term of endearment almost. It's almost like saying you son of a bitch, you bastard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen them hold a little new baby up like Lion King. They were like, "You little cunt." Like they love him.
Pretty much. So I was out there in Australia and dudes were coming up to me like, "Oh, you sick cunt. You're such a sick cunt, bruv." And I was like, "Oh, all right. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it."
So to bring it full circle, as far as goals, and you writing some things down.
Yeah.
What is the goal you have? The first major goal that you wrote down, prayed on, or thought on, or willed on that came to fruition?
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you two.
Okay.
I'll tell you two.
Getting a new phone.
Because
that one's broken.
That one is busted now. I always, ever since I was little, I wanted to be on TV. You know what I'm saying? Wanted to be on TV, wanted to be in movies. I got on YouTube to promote myself. Like kids get on YouTube now because they want to be YouTube famous. You know what I'm saying? When I got on YouTube, there's no such thing as YouTube famous. It was just
it exists because you made it exist.
Yeah, I mean pretty much. Yeah. So I mean, just getting on Wildn Out was definitely a not to keep talking about Wildn Out, but
but it is what it is. It was the same thing for me.
Yeah.
And them niggas told me I got it like it wasn't special. And then Kanai was like, "Yeah, nigga, I see you tomorrow." I was like, "Hold up, wait, am I on the show?" He was like,
see you tomorrow.
So you want me to say it? I'm like, "Say the shit." Congratulations, nigga. Like that's how we did it. I swear to God, I was like, I have the video.
But y'all knew each other.
Kinda. Like, he was the OG that was like
producing.
Nyla knew me from me trying to get on the show for 4 years straight.
I see.
In respectable ways. You know what I'm saying? Like I was either trying to showcase or I was missing showcases and I showcased solo. Like when people ask me, "How you get on there?" I'm like, "Bruh, I couldn't tell you the one thing that did it. Just know the tipping point happened and it was several things that was like, look, we'll give you a real shot."
Right. And that's dope.
And I was just glad every moment I had was big enough. Like I got real moments out of my little stint.
It's all about the moments.
Man.
And the thing about it is like for me, like as someone who was coming from the internet, right, to be on the show before really internet people were getting on shows, it was just finally something where it was like something I was telling people for years, like, watch, I'm gonna be on TV.
And people were like, "Nigga, you ain't gonna be on
exactly.
TV.
I mean, look, it was crazy because I remember being in high school and like. Even before I even opened my mouth and spit some bars, like people would laugh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. The traffic day. So it was like the fact that I was on a show, I was rapping. But when people would tell me like you'll never be on TV, like you're not tall enough, you're not attractive enough.
Who the fuck was telling you that?
Just, bitch ass kids, man. And like kids in the YouTube comments. And so it was like, it legitimized everything I had been doing. You know what I'm saying? So I could be like, yes, motherfucker, I did this shit. And
it's the first check of Instagram gives you a verified check. You got the check of verification, like industry wise, in the door.
Exactly.
So.
And the second one, I'll tell you the second one was paying off my family's house.
I didn't even know you did that.
So I did that a few years ago. And as an Asian kid, the whole thing is like, they'll say like your parents always want you to be a doctor or a lawyer. They want you to get a real degree in something. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because education is so important. And me going after entertainment and trying to be on TV and in movies,
and
it was
rapping.
And rapping. It was like what are you doing?
Right.
But after years, and I remember, every time I would leave the house to shoot little short films with my homies after high school, and I was like staying up late shooting whatever, I would always tell them like, look, I know this is crazy, but it's gonna pay off. I'm gonna pay off the house. Watch, I promise you. I'm telling you, I'm gonna buy you guys this house. So when I finally got to that point,
Timothy crazy.
Yeah, they're like, oh, okay. So when I got to a point where I was able to like pay off the rest of the mortgage. And then, and my dad was like, I knew it. I knew you could do it. And I was like, oh, that's. So I was like, okay, yeah.
That's dope. So I didn't know you did that. I knew you bought the Mozzie and wrecked it and then fixed it. And then I knew that. So I was like, Tim out here showing he got it.
Yeah, that happened, yep.
That's what's up. Man, so those are wonderful goals to aspire towards. And you know what I think is dope? And it's a testament to the quality of your character is that the goal that you set, one was essentially for you, but it was a personal goal that overcame an obstacle. Not just a selfish, I just want this.
Right.
And the second one had virtually nothing to do with you at all. You just wanted to show love to your family and give back.
And I wanted to say, see, I told you so, Mom.
Is that what it is?
No.
Is that so? Your first two goals really are, I told you, motherfucker?
Well, you know what my mom said to me after I paid off the house that was made it so like worthwhile. Cause I recorded their reaction to it, right? But after the camera was off, my mom was like, finally I can take a break. And I was like, oh Mom,
Yeah.
I was like,
I just had to. I promise you, I'm in that same space where I want to be able to like just be like, Mom, go do whatever the hell you want to do, take a cruise and just go, and ain't nobody telling you to come back, just go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that's dope.
Thanks, man. Thanks. My mom's on a cruise right now.
Is she?
Literally, they're in Mexico. She hit me up like last week. She was like, me and your dad want to go on this cruise. I was like, all right.
Peace.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.